Stuck in dark. Two friends searching for a job applied to every ad they saw in the paper. Both are orphans, Gaurav and Rohit. A letter is delivered to them, mentioning the recruitment of charges for a school. The address was very strange, but the salary was beyond expectations. Some rules are also given. Not to meet outsiders when in school. Don't try to surpass the school compound. Nothing personal is allowed. New mobiles are given to only contact the staff in the school. Should strictly follow school's holiday timetable. And the school name was mentioned below the rules. During Violet. On the back of the letter, directions to school are mentioned. Get to the bus stop 611T in your town, then get into the bus down in O35L. The last stop of the bus is Daring Violet. The next week they reach Daring Violet with no luggage, but only offer letter in their hands. It's a big school with 5 floors and corridors running approximately 100 meters long. Whole accommodation for staff and students is available there. Every necessity is directly supplied. There are only 200 students, with 50 member staff. Gaurav and Rohit have been allotted with a common room. It's great to get a job like this, Rohit said lying on the bed. Of course, said Gaurav. Let me check the school at night. Saying it, Gaurav steps out of the room. It is nonchalant outside. The corridor was very long. There was no light. All he can see was extended darkness. Suddenly a light starts blinking at the other corner of the corridor. Then the next light starts blinking. Gaurav gets baffled. Slowly the lights start blinking consecutively. By the time the light above Gaurav starts blinking, he notices that something is standing in front of him for a long time. It's a child. He timidly looks down. AAA. Rohit. Gaurav screams in fear, but there's no response from Rohit. Even after that loud scream, no one's out. The child is still like a rock, not even moving his head up or down. Stuck as if petrified. Gaurav tries to touch the boy. No longer Gaurav's hand reaches his shoulder. The boy starts screaming and runs into his room. It's a strange scream and horrifying run. Gaurav goes into a shock and goes to bed very much frightened by trying to dissolve what he had just seen. But he cannot sleep, wakes up Rohit, and explains everything happened. Let's get out of here. I don't like this place. Gaurav says by trembling. Okay, something is fishy, let's get out, Rohit says. They both reach the main gate of the school. Watchmen are still awake. What now? Gaurav says. Jump the wall, Rohit replies. They jump to the other side, but everything's different. They cannot find the way they came by bus. It's all surrounded by a forest. Fear starts striking their hearts, starts running towards the main gate, but even after 10 minutes of their run, they fail to reach it. Out of fear they again jump into school. It's strange. They again land in the same place from where they jumped out. Runs into room tremblingly. Tries to sleep by fully covering their bodies from blankets. The next morning, both wake up with fear in their eyes and inconsistency in their steps. Gaurav notices that there are no lights fixed yet in the corridor. With small and fast steps they go to the principal's chamber, but it is locked. It's nearly 10 o'clock in the morning. Some students are playing on the ground. They sit there to wait until the principal arrives. Then they notice one thing which makes them dreadfully feared. They notice that the children playing in the ground has no shadows. Once they check if they have theirs, both of them can see their shadows, but the shadows of children cannot be seen. They rush towards the P.E.T in the ground and notice that he's also missing one. They run all over the school and now they lost hope in their life, no one except them having their shadows. They come to know that they are living in a ghost den. They come to know the place they are living in is hell on the earth. It's not good for them to let the ghosts there know about their acknowledgement. The whole day they searched for any humans there with a grain of hope, but they ended disappointed, and with fattening feelings of horror. It is a long night for them. They were under their blankets and were fully sweating. They commence hearing weird noises from the school. They are the noises of children running in the corridor. Suddenly there's a knock at the door. By hearing that, they both get petrified for a moment and the number of knocks starts increasing. Gaurav, let me see, starts moving towards the door. Rohit, no, don't go there, please. Stop. Gaurav opens the door. There's totally dark outside. No one can be seen. Suddenly someone speaks to the darkness. Hey, can't you hear the noise of children playing? Why don't you stop them? It was totally an unusual voice. By listening that, Gaurav's fear increases. He shuts the door with a huge force and locks it from inside with tents. Gaurav and Rohit sleep on the same bed, holding each other tight out of fear. Everything becomes nonchalant and they start to relax, but suddenly they hear a loud cry from the distance in the forest. It is different from the noises coming from the school. Gaurav, I think it's a human. We should go there, says with some hope in his eyes. Rohit, no. Don't forget that this place is filled with ghosts. Don't be tempted to what you listen. We are not going to become their prey. The next morning is totally different. Everyone's eyes are totally red and saliva from their mouth is coming out. Everyone starts seeing Rohit and Gaurav as if they wanted to eat them. They both observe that and start moving away from everyone. But Rohit notices one thing. He notices that there is a shadow for the doctor appointed for the school. They go to the doctor with great hope in their eyes, because he is coming outside of the school. They rush towards the doctor and pull him to a corner. The doctor looks totally baffled. Gaurav, how come you are coming outside of the school? Curious to listen to the answer. Doctor, I have been given a house outside the school. Yesterday I was recruited. Rohit, so you don't know what's going on here? With fear in his eyes. Doctor, and then no, looks more baffled. Both explain the exact horrible situation of them where they are living in. Now the doctor is more horrified and runs outside the gate by banging it. Gaurav and Rohit try to stop him, but he was uncontrollable. That day evening they want to see how all the stuff is being passed to school. They both secretly enter the mess and they see the most horrifying scene. The doctor was on the table lying unconscious, and then a chef in the mess approached the doctor. The chef was looking terrible. His hands are half burned and the skin on his face was decaying with an insect around it eating his face. One of his eye socket was totally empty. The chef took the cleaver and with one shot cut the neck of the doctor. Head fell on the ground and the blood starts pumping out. Now the chef, Ghost, goes in front of the pumping blood of the doctor and starts drinking it. After drinking the blood, he fills some in a vessel and mixes it in the food which is being prepared for others. By seeing that whole scene, tears start rolling out of the eyes of Rohit and Gaurav out of fear. They start running towards the compound without even looking back into the forest. They nearly run for 2 hours without even knowing in which direction they are going. After a long run away from the daring violate, they see a hut in a distance and a pile of fire burning outside the hut. There's a man sitting near the fire and a long shadow of him also can be seen. After seeing him, some doubts arises in their heads. Is he a human or a ghost? If a human, can he explain to us about this place? Can we find a way out from here? To be continued.